All right, welcome back to Morning Live. Now, young scientists in Kenya, of course, Kenya is a unique platform in East Africa that allows young people to demonstrate their talents in sciences and maths with the aim of transforming Kenya through innovation in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or if you like, STEM. Now, young scientists Kenya, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and other partners, is making STEM accessible to all through the National Science and Technology Exhibition, or some days used to be called Science Congress. Now, the exhibition is now in its second year and seeks to open up a world of opportunities by reaching students in all 47 counties through an intensive high school outreach program with the aim of positioning STEM subjects as attractive, accessible and necessary to the achievement of Kenya's economic growth goals. And of course, in studio, I'm joined by Collins Munene, who is the National Director, Young Scientists Kenya, who will now be taking us to this conversation. We'll talk about STEM, the impact of STEM, how people, of course, with the new CBC might be avoiding STEM, and our conversation will majorly focus on the impact of STEM. Good morning, Bwana Collins.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Maybe young scientists in this country, yes. I believe they've learned so much from your organization.
Yes.
And maybe you can tell us more about the organization, how it started, who was the brainchild,
yes.
and just the impact of the organization through.
Thank you very much, Nick, and good morning again.
Good morning.
Young Scientist is a very unique platform of bringing in public and private partnership to create a foundation whereby science becomes interesting.
Yeah.
We work through high school, secondary schools, where really the bottom line is to encourage science, technology and innovation, what we call STEM, in young scientists, in young students.
Yeah.
But also more importantly, it's a partnership that gives a platform where once we inspire this interest in science, we provide a platform.
Okay.
And not only just a platform, we provide a national platform whereby science skills, science talent are exhibited, innovation is exhibited. So Young Scientist is a brainchild from a very successful model in Ireland. Running about 55 years ago. Just a little history is that Ireland was one of the poorest countries a few years ago, about 60 years ago. Ireland was one of the poorest countries. And they struggled to figure out how they were going to revive the economy.
Okay.
Science, technology, and innovation became the key. Today, Ireland is one of the fastest growing economy, one of the strongest economy, and plays as a host of a lot of international organizations in matters of innovation, in matters of science. So we are borrowing a model from BT Young Scientist in Ireland, which is a partnership between the Ministry of Education through our government here and the Irish Embassy, the government of Ireland, where they've come together to provide a platform, an enabling environment where we can spur interest in science, but also working with partners like Blaze, Safaricom, and various other partners, the academia, in ensuring that science is interesting in schools, but also not only just interesting, students get to exhibit, get a platform to exhibit on a national platform, and also the connectivity and mentoring going forward.
Amazing. Now, the 844 is being scrapped, and you know very well the CBC is coming into play.
Yes.
And the 844 still, some schools had the liberty of doing all the sciences.
Yes.
Some had the liberty, of course, choosing only two.
Yes.
But look at the situation whereby we were subjected to choose. At Form 2, you can drop others, you can take others.
Yes.
But right now, having a situation where we're having a hands-on curriculum, whereby if you want science, take science.
Yes.
It's actually your choice.
Yes.
Is there danger whereby you might be seeing a potential scientists, actually potential students who might be strong in STEM, taking artistic, because I feel like I'm talented in music, I'll go the music way. Look at this danger, because even me at some point I was told you can take two maybe sciences or three. That's your problem. Now look at this this enormous kind of liberty that it might be putting STEM in danger in this country. What's your opinion?
I want to flip. I want to flip the coin on the other side.
Sure.
It's really an opportunity.
Yeah.
The 844 system was, as good as it was a bit restrictive.
Okay.
The new curriculum-based that is being implemented today is actually an opportunity for excellence in science.
Okay.
In that you will now, from a very young age, really begin to understand, are you really science inclined?
Okay.
And take that path and grow that path. Just in the news this morning, Microsoft, for example, is set up the second African Development Center here in Kenya, here in Nairobi, second from Lagos. What does it mean? This is an opportunity that has come to us as Kenyans to really get the supply of scientists, to really fulfill the demands. But even if you look at where things are going today, even when we talk about the Big Four agenda, we can put the Big Four agenda, but bottom line, what is really going to build this is really science, technology, and innovation. So I don't see it more of as a danger, but I see it as an opportunity where you get to choose whether you are in arts, you want to do music, whether you are in science, and that's where young scientists come in to really now complement and supplement this curriculum-based environment we are in to really spur interest. We have a very audacious outreach program. We've done about 17 counties today, reaching out, sensitizing students about science, technology, and innovation. The patron, His Excellency the President, challenged us last year at our first annual exhibition and said, I want this to be a countrywide movement of young scientists. We are going to be in 47 counties where we bring in science and technology as a choice, a career for innovation and entrepreneurship. Yes.
Interesting. Now, the youths, of course, different interests out here, as much as sometimes you're dealing with young people. Very key, by the way, in terms of transforming the society. But look at their interest also. How will you make this young, talented scientist to kind of avoid this peer pressure? Because now it's all about being engaged into something. It's very important to engage these young people. Maybe how are you doing it? Because as much as you're focusing on science, they're coming together, but there are distractions out here. And you've experienced that. Yeah, maybe how are you trying to curb this?
One of the most important things as young scientists is really focusing on is creating an ecosystem, a STEM ecosystem, a support ecosystem. And what this means is that we're bringing in the academia, we're bringing in the corporate world, we're bringing in the government, we're bringing in non-governmental institutions to really spur and create this interest and opportunities. So what is happening and what needs to be emulated is first we spur the interest in science. We get you interested in science. Then we have a very, very elaborate program of mentorship. So we work with mentors. Safaricom has been gracious to partner with us through Blaze Safaricom, with Blaze Mentors. Some are very young, entrepreneurial, very successful people here in Kenya. So we've partnered with Blaze. We've partnered with academia, where we're using our own people, our own students, our own professors in our own universities. But also, more importantly, we're also using the professions in the industry who come in, mentor this young generation of young people so that there is a hand-on. We've created an environment, now let's mentor you. But also more importantly, Nick, I want to say young scientist is also looking in a broader scheme of things. When these exhibitions or projects are showcased and they're good and they're commercially viable, we have a boot camp. And the boot camp is really to look at commercially viable projects. Last year we had about 44 projects that were commercially viable. This year we'll probably double that we will take these young students through a boot camp where we bring in the Microsofts, we bring in the GEs, we bring in our own Kenya Power Limited, to really mentor and carry forward this advancement, where we help them in entrepreneurship skills, we help them in intellectual property skills, and really make them very commercially viable, that they can create jobs for themselves.
Sure.
So if you look at the whole scheme of things, young scientists just tries to go around the circle where we inspire, we create an environment, but also we mentor and bring this forth. Yes.
Okay. For someone who's interested in science as a young person and feels like I'm not so much strong in science, but I'm willing to go there and of course learn. Yes, sometimes learning takes time, but you see this thing is a passion. Have you ever experienced such people who are so much interested, but just the tapping perspective in their desire is not really that much? But how do you deal with such students? Because now I love science, but I fail science. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's interesting. Unfortunately, some people that really love science, like you say, you fail science. But it's very interesting. Science, we have to demystify science being hard and difficult. But we have to look at science as an opportunity. We have to look at science because today's world, things are revolving around science. The biggest economies, Germany, the US, the UK, even here in Rwanda, it's all about innovation in science. The president was launching a very audacious blueprint, a Kenyan blueprint on digital, on how innovation is going to influence the government delivery. What is that? It's really science. It's really innovation. So we have to demystify this science. But I also want to give Kenyans an opportunity to experience this. We have about, for the next 5 weeks, we will be touching, or we will be in about 25 different counties. Starting actually with this coming weekend, where we will be right here in Korogosho, in Nairobi, Korogosho. We will have a team in West Pokot, in Nakolin Girls, and we will have a team in Marsabit. What are we saying? What we're saying is that we're spreading this outreach to come down to the ground in all the 47 counties, so that you, who you have interest in science and probably failed and you still want to get back, you can get the opportunity to really learn from mentors and see where you can plug in. Maybe you can plug in as a mentor. Maybe you can plug in as a partner.
But can you plug in as a mentor who failed science? Anyway, let's take a short break.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a short break right here in Morning Live. When we come back now, I want to focus on the impact. Remember, as much as you have this passion for science, you need to have this excellence aspect of it, because now you can't just be perfect in science and of course be average. So the excellence part of it, and also, you remember Science Congress now, how has it been doing? Because the name was changed. He'll be telling us more about that. And remember that as much as you love science, there's also the angle of you have to support it with mathematics. Also, bridging of these subjects. Remember, some time back when you failed science, you can go and bridge it. Is this still available? All that coming to you after a short break. Welcome back to Morning Live. Yes, we're talking about all matters science in studio, and this conversation is actually trying to demystify that science and mathematics have been these hard subjects. Some time back, people used to fear mathematics. Goodness, maths was some subject people didn't want to hear about, but it's now being embraced slowly by slowly. And of course, Collins Monene, the National Director, Young Scientists Kenya, is in studio, talk about all this now. When you continue this conversation, Bwana Collins, there's an aspect of outreach. I believe you need to really have your networks in the country.
Correct.
And the county governments, the central government, how has it been for you in terms of just now reaching all the schools all over the country?
It's been fantastic. It's been great. The partnership between the national government and county government with other players who play in the county government is crucial. I'll give you a case in point. Last weekend we were in Turkana County, St. Kevin's, where we were doing a STEM outreach. Brought together about 17 different high schools, some that had traveled about 250 kilometers. If you've been in Turkana, thanks now to the good roads that the government is trying to do, 250 kilometers travel is not an easy journey.
It's true that.
But we had schools that had traveled 250 kilometers just so that they can experience the STEM outreach. What is this science about? And one of the interesting conversations we had with the county, with the governor of Turkana, His Excellency Governor Nanok, is that there is a deficiency in scientists in the county. That's number one. Number two, we need to infuse science interest in the county, not just only in Turkana, but in other counties. And it was sad to note from him that the only architect in Turkana who had a very ambitious plan in transforming the Turkana pastoralist life in building new homes or new technologically advanced homes in Turkana County passed on before even this project took off. What are we saying? There was deficiency. And I want to bring the connection with the county, and his interest was, let's make this outreach a partnership between the county government where you can work, or we work with the universities in the county, we work with vocational training institutions in the county, so that this network is really grounded in the county in terms of its advancement and interest and exposure also in the county. So it's very, very important. We work very, very closely with the county governments. Like I've said, this coming weekend we will be in West Pokot, where through the county Director of Education, we work closely with the teachers through the county director's office. So it's crucial. The partnership is crucial, and this is what I'm talking about. Developing a STEM ecosystem begins from the ground all the way up to the academia, and bringing in non-government institutions, government and non-government institutions. But I also want to note that not only are we working in the counties, we're working with partners that have a national overview. And one of the partners we are working with is NACOSTI. NACOSTI is a national commission for science, technology, and innovation, which is an entity that cuts across the whole county, which is about regulating how science, technology, and innovation is taught in schools and advanced in schools, and the quality assurance. So there's that very, very close connection between education institutions, scientific institutions in the country, YSK, Young Scientists Kenya, with the county government. We're also working with Semestia. Semestia is a center for mathematics, science, technology, and innovation in East Africa. What does it do? It takes the other arm of empowering and equipping the teachers. So we work with the students where we inspire interest, but we also empower the teachers through the Semestia, which is also a national entity, so that this becomes a very complementary engagement.
Wow. The chance for someone to prosper in future as far as science is concerned, the government has given a chance for you, for a learner to actually bridge these subjects. Of course, there's not really majors in the secondary school, but my desire as a scientist, I want to prosper in future. So I have a second chance to perform better. Now, looking at the bridging courses in this country, are you confident there may be somehow the way out to solve this this kind of, high school and secondary schools, there's so many environmental factors that can actually affect your performance. You might be so good in mathematics, in sciences, but there are things that really affect your performance. Maybe the tension during the final exams. So many things happen. And do you think it's a high time the bridging courses should be encouraged? Because now, as much as you're advocating for that outright, and of course, instant good performance, look at that continuation of the bridging subjects.
That is why the new curriculum-based comes in. The 844 was a little bit rigid in that if you excelled in science, that's the only path.
Why are teachers not for it? Some section of teachers, maybe not to some.
I think it's a bit. It's more of sensitization. And as human beings, change is difficult. It is difficult, Nick. I have been involved in change management, and it's tough. It's difficult. Sometimes we don't foresee. We don't really try to look at the brighter of the things. But I want to say that your question is about bridging, which if you never excelled in what you wanted, you were given another opportunity where you could go the long way, and probably you failed in mathematics, go bridge mathematics and come back so that you can qualify for that course that you wanted. Here is an opportunity where you are given in a very early stage, where you pick what you feel you can excel in at a very early stage. So it's really an opportunity if you look at it. And I am not an advocate of 844 and the CDC, but I am an advocate of innovation. I am an advocate of partnerships that bring impact and change. And this is a way to go.
Now, as even if finalizing this conversation, looking at the fact that we are living in a society of a competition, and when you talk about Science Congress, way back during our days, specifically me, that was the most difficult thing I've ever experienced. Like, you have this project, you go present it at a different school, you see another school with the same project, but packaged in a different way, and then that's maybe how you flop. But look at this continuation. How is it so far? Maybe has it been amalgamated in the science, in the Young Scientist Kenya?
Yes, Young Scientist is a premier exhibition. A premier exhibition in that we are bringing together all these STEM initiatives, all these STEM competition initiatives, where Kenya Science Congress, as you call it, which the name has now changed to Kenya Science Engineering Fair, is one of the STEM initiatives that falls into the YSK as a premier platform of exhibition. So we have KSEF, which is the Kenya Science Engineering Fair. We have Innovative Kenya. We have all these fairs, science fairs. We're bringing them together to a national platform. But by extension, what we're doing, we have 4 categories. You've mentioned that it was very difficult and it was very linear. But we have 4 categories. So the 4 categories are: we have a category just purely on technology. So if you excel in technology, you want to exhibit in technology, there is a technology category. There is a category on chemical, physical, and mathematics. So that's another category by itself. We have a third category, which is on social behavioral sciences, where a little bit of humanity comes in there. Then the fourth category is a category on biological and ecological science. So it's really bringing this together to a premier platform, but also giving the opportunity that we are tackling all the sectors in life, so to say. But even more importantly, we have special categories of arid and semi-arid areas where, for example, the Turkana, for example, the Samburu, Isiolo, where we've also done some outreach, Garissa, Wajir, where we've also done outreach. These are marginalized counties. But I can tell you there is a pilot there, there is an engineer in those counties, there is a physicist in those counties. So we give them also a platform and an opportunity. So we have special categories for ASAL areas. What we're doing now in Nairobi, in Korogosho, which is in Kariobangi North Girls Secondary Schools, where we're bringing in schools in what we may call informal settlements, is also a way of ensuring that we are not only covering the formal sector, the formal environments, but we're also going down to the grounds of the informal sector. That's why we have Korogosho bringing in schools that also give them an opportunity and a platform to showcase their science. Sure. We also have very special interest in girls and science. Okay. And case in point, if you look at where most of our exhibitions have been, 50% of our exhibitions have been, they're really in girls' schools. For example, the Eastern Cluster, where we had an outreach in Embu, Meru, and Tharaka Nithi, the event was held in Kangari, Kangari Girls, which is a girls' school. In Wajir, it was held in, the STEM outreach was held in Wajir Girls. We will have an outreach that will cover the Western Bloc, which is Kakamega, Vihiga. We're going to be in Bukumu Girls. We also have another Western Bloc where we will cover the Kisumu, Siaya, Nyamira. We will be in Ahero Girls. So there's a lot of interest in ensuring that also girls and women participate in science.
Yes. It's true that. Now, as you're finalizing this, what's your desire? I'm very sure you want to be in that position forever, but when you leave, you must kind of see some sort of legacy you've left behind. And what's your desire in this country?
My desire is, one, to demystify science. Science has to be fun like music or arts. It's to demystify that. But also my second desire is to make sure that every single Kenyan youth gets an opportunity to showcase their science, expertise, and innovation. And my third desire is a partnership desire. I want to see in partners come in. I want to see in Microsoft coming in and say, we're going to sponsor a particular award. I want to see Oracle. I want to see GE. I want to see our own local manufacturers here, DT Dobi in Thika, come in and say, I am interested in this.
Absolutely.
But that cannot happen if we don't expose these young people. If we don't only expose these young people, if we don't build these young people and give them an opportunity. And young scientist is there. And we are in a great place to make it happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank you very much
for coming to studio.
Thank you.
National Director, Young Scientists Kenya. I believe there's a great future for young scientists, and it's just a matter of consistency now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I remember back in Form 1, Form 3 used to scare us. Guys, you'll meet a topic called moles. You'll die. See, such things. They need to kind of encourage guys that it's an easy topic. You know, it's all about support from the grassroots.
It's part of life.
Absolutely,
it's part of life. Look at everything.
Sure,
there is science. There's technology. There's innovation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, just hold it right there.